Good afternoon everyone, welcome back to a new update. It's been about a week ago since we did the last one, so we have been due. Today it's Tuesday the 4th, and I've hung on to do the update until today because there is some positive news today come out. So we're going to start where we always start off, with the COVID rates for today. So let's start off with that. COVID rates, the Canary Islands has registered 148 new cases of coronavirus today, but the good news is the archipelago has 3,439 active cases today, which is all of the Canary Islands, which is 130 less than yesterday, and they are steadily decreasing as the number of new infections seems to have stabilised. So we've levelled off, the cases are dropping, which are great. Which I'll come on to in a moment. Tenerife has added 77 new cases and has 2,214 still active. Going on to some of the other islands, you've got Gran Canaria with 54 new cases. So overall it has dropped, which is great news. I'm going to quickly go through the vaccine. We have had a bit of a mass rollout in the south, and they are cracking through the vaccines as well, which is great. So total administered is 622,846 vaccines. 175,941 have had the 2 doses. The target is 1,348,856 people. So we're still way off the target, but that number has jumped up, which is fantastic. So with that good news and the rates dropping down, the great news as of today, we are back in level 2. We had been in level 3, we're now back into level 2, which means the curfew is now 11 p.m. until 6 a.m. The restaurants and bars can have inside seating again, up to 50% capacity, and you can meet up with other households now. You can have 6 people per table, so that's great news for the bars and restaurants. Everything moving in the right direction. Rates coming down, vaccinations going up, and we're coming down that level into level 2, which means less restrictions, bit more freedom, and great news for those bars and restaurants. I do believe as well things like musical acts and things like that can start again in the bars, so you might get a bit of entertainment as well of an evening. So all that has moved in a great direction since the last update. Everything positive there so far. So from that we will move to this article here that's in the Canarian Weekly. EU plans June opening for vaccinated tourists with a new proposal. After nearly a year of closed borders, the European Union revealed a plan yesterday to open in June to fully vaccinated travellers from countries with low COVID rates, which that does include the UK if you're watching, people from the UK there. The easing of restrictions on non-essential travel, which will be welcomed by countries desperate to revive their struggling tourism industry, Canary Islands, Tenerife, would also allow for an emergency brake to be put on as well should the infection rates rise. So they are working on a system, like we mentioned before, the vaccine passport, where people can travel to these countries with low rates with their vaccine passport or proof of having the vaccine. And they will have an option where if the rates do go up, that country can put an emergency stop on and stop any more travel. You might agree with that, you might not, because you might book and then there could be a sudden increase and then your holiday gets cancelled last minute. But again, great positive talks. Another little article here that I thought was really positive for the island and does show how the island is thinking, in my opinion. The Canaries have 25,000 cruise passengers despite the global stoppage of cruising. The Canary Islands, which has become the global destination for cruise ships during the pandemic, has managed to move 25,000 tourists in the last 4 months since shipping companies resumed their operations. This is equivalent to 110,000 visitors when all stops in the different islands are taken into account. So I thought that was very positive news. We have seen the ships going around. You might have seen in my previous vlogs, we did go and show the Mein Schiff 1, which was a massive cruise ship going through the islands the other day. So I think that's really positive. I didn't think there was that many passengers, but it shows that we're handling them well, and I think that does show we can handle the borders opening again to other countries. There's nothing negative at all happening with those cruises. We've not had any issues by the looks of it. There's been no quarantining of ships or anything like that. It's all been very well managed, which I think does give us a good boost in hopes of getting the borders open, because we have already been managing these cruise ships for a few months now. Next article here, there's quite a few articles to get through today, and it was another little bit of travel news. Next article is that TUI will fly from just 4 UK airports from May the 17th amid the traffic light rules. So not many airports for TUI, especially if you're going to be flying to the Canary Islands. However, a lot of other people, Brits and things, do travel with the other airlines, and I think they will increase those flights once they know exactly what's going on with the traffic light system. But at the moment, TUI only doing 4 UK airports, but you have got plenty of other airlines that are going to be flying. Speaking of airlines, someone did ask me about this the other day. The Canarian Airways, which started up recently a few months ago, are closer to take off as the colour scheme of the planes is revealed. I'll throw up a picture now of their colour scheme. So they will actually be flying from a couple of UK airports as well. So the new airline, Canarian Airways, will plan to link up some destinations in Europe with Tenerife, especially with the South Reina Sofia Airport. They will be the likes of Glasgow, Cardiff, Barcelona, Madrid, Bilbao and Berlin. So it is going to add a few extra destinations for us, particularly here in the south, which is fantastic. I have shown you, I'll leave the link in the description, if you saw the Tenerife South Airport video that I did a few days ago. They are really cracking on with that second terminal now, and this does all tie in. Canarian Airways starting up. Once we are more back to normal, that second terminal will be in use, and for the likes of these extra flights that are going to be going on. If you haven't seen that video, the link's in the description for that. It is a good video. It shows just how much work they've done during the last year or so. A lot of people didn't even know that a second terminal was being built at the South Airport there, so check out that video if you haven't. So another little article here. This isn't in the Canarian Weekly. It is just something I saw and I thought I might mention it because I did get a lot of comments in the last update video about tests, how much they were going to be expensive, people didn't want to pay for them. What I would say is we have still got tourists coming over from Czech Republic, Poland, we've had a few Italians, different places, and they are very happy to pay the tests. They just sort of get on with it and do what they need to do. So I do still think people will pay for the tests if they are required. A lot of people said people won't pay, but if we look at what happened last time when the borders opened, there was so much demand for the tests that the UK couldn't cope. You couldn't get a test anywhere. But this little piece here, it was in the Evening Standard, but it does say boost for summer holidays as price of PCR tests set to fall to just £45. Holidaymakers will be able to pay just £45 for a COVID test under new government plans to help reboot the travel industry in the summer. So fingers crossed, if you do need a test, we don't know what's going to happen with the vaccine passports and things. Personally, I do still think you're going to need a test to start with. But it does look like the UK are working hard to get the price of those tests down. £45 is not much. If we look at what happened this week in Liverpool, they did that pilot scheme with the concert that went on, the little mini festival, and they all paid for the test beforehand. It went very, very well. So I think if people are happy to pay for tests for the likes of a concert, then they'll definitely still pay to come on holiday, 100%. I know it does put a lot of the families off, but if we can reduce the prices like that, would be absolutely fantastic. And I do still think people will pay to come over, as they are doing now. I do still think that people will come over. So another little bit of good news. It links in with the airport again, and that is that Air Baltic, which is a Latvian airline, have confirmed that they are scheduling flights between Riga and Tenerife South as of the 2nd of September. So that is going to be a new destination for Tenerife, a new passage of travel. We should hopefully see more Latvian visitors to the island. Again, links in with that second terminal going on. Got a new airline starting. We've got new airlines starting to travel to here as one of their destinations. So another piece of good news from September, we are going to have those Air Baltic flights coming in. Again, all the links to this information is in the description. A lot of it is from the Canarian Weekly, which you've seen before. And continuing with the good theme of good news, this is a good update, guys. The UK takes the Canary Islands off its travel blacklist. The British government has removed the Canary Islands from the list of destinations to which it had so far advised its citizens against travelling to, unless for essential reasons. Due to the incidence of coronavirus, it is still illegal to travel abroad until the 17th of May. But hopefully that does provide a big boost for the islands. Us coming off that list should indicate, I think it's indicating towards they are going to have a deal with the Canarian government and the borders will open. I think, in my opinion, being here, living here, through it all, I do believe we've moved in the right direction 100%. I think that we will have the deal. I think people will be able to travel. They'll get the on the green list. We are ready to be rumoured on that green list. There's been a few leaks and things, apparently, but we are rumoured to be on that list. I think you will be able to come over. I do think you'll need a test to start with, because the vaccine passport hasn't quite worked out yet. They are saying that the NHS app isn't going to be quite good enough. So I do think you'll still need a test. Hopefully those tests will be cheaper, and you'll be able to come over and enjoy the island. We're in level 2. So you can eat indoors, outdoors, there's a lot less restrictions. Obviously you will still need to wear your mask everywhere. I know that's a concern for some of you, but you do get very used to it. It's not as bad as you think. My parents, who are in their 60s, coped with it perfectly fine when they came over last time. But all moving in a very, very positive direction. This is all sort of snowballed from the start of last week. Things have been progressing and getting better and better and better. And we've got to this point now where all we're doing really is waiting for that list to come out from the UK government of exactly who is on the list. But with us moving down into level 2, it's looking very positive that we'll be on that list. I was going to be concerned if we stayed in level 3 or even went into level 4, but by moving down a level, it does suggest that the Canarian government are saying, look at our rates, we're low, look at the vaccinations going in, we're down into level 2, put us on that green list. This is in my opinion, this is how I see it. Obviously you might have some different opinions yourself. Of course, drop them in the description, in the comments. Let us know what you think about all of this. Do you think I'm completely wrong? Do you think I could be right? Obviously have a read of the articles as well, but overall moving in a very good direction. Now that links in, I've got a couple of other little bits and bobs here, and this one is from the Telegraph in the UK. Travel news latest, holiday hopes rise as warning against Corfu, Crete and Madeira are lifted. So they are starting to take these countries off the warning list, as they've done with the Canary Islands as well. You'll notice these sort of small, these island destinations are the ones coming off the list, which again is good news for us. And another one here in the Independent, don't know how accurate this is. Coronavirus news, most of Europe on the green list next month as summer is to feel a lot more like normal. So overall, I think you'll agree, a very positive update. We're moving in the right direction 100%. Personally, I do feel now we will get that agreement, and I think we'll start to see tourists from June. I don't think as soon as May, I could be wrong. I think from June onwards we're going to start to see people trickling in. We're not going to see a huge horde of, we're not going to be full to the brim, but I think we're going to start to see a trickle coming in from June onwards. Let's hope the tests drop in price, because I do still believe they will be needed. I don't think it's just going to be the app and you can come in, but hopefully that vaccine passport will come in as well eventually in a bit more time. But all very, very positive. If you haven't seen that video on the South Airport, go and see what it looks like. It's very, very quiet, not for long, but you'll see just how much work they've done on that second terminal there. It's quite amazing. They've really cracked on with it over the last year or so, and the last few months really picked up the pace with it as well. overall, from my perspective, having the business, with same as last week, bits and bobs from Czechs, Polish, a few residents as well. Bars and restaurants very, very quiet, same as last week. A few of them did close for a few weeks, and a few of them have really reduced their hours. But with this good news, hopefully from June onwards, a little bit more business. Hopefully people will start to go back to the restaurants now. They can eat indoors as well. A few people don't like eating outdoors. But overall, that is going to be it, guys. Drop your comments, let me know what you think. If you do want to keep up to date with some of these news, I'm going to be doing these every week, or when there's some good news to run through, when we've got quite a bit of information stacked up. So hit the subscribe, hit the thumbs up, share the video, send it around to some people that might cheer them up. We all need a bit of positive news, and I think all of that we've just been through is absolutely fantastic for the island and for other countries as well. That test flight from the Netherlands went ahead. It went to Gran Canaria full, and so far that has been successful as well, so we should start to see the Netherlands starting to come over as well. All looking fantastic. I hope you enjoyed that update. If you did, drop your comments, hit the subscribe, guys, and stride on. Hope to see you maybe this summer. Let me know, are you going to book? Drop your comments. Bye, guys.